there can be times when we are in need of money which will help us survive. These are essential basics, roti, kapda, maka.
We need to empower each other and we need to start building that portfolio for which we'll have financial independence today. And
I think I got a wake-up call with all these things covered because I think I just have my health insurance and some of the emergency fund covered. But
उसमें पैसे लगाना मतलब बहुत risky है, मिल जाएगा तो yeah, like a gambling. Yeah. That's more or less a gambling, and then you'll have to sit and convince.
I think they have a tendency to hold the cash, if you're getting a certain amount of rakno, and the saving aspect has always been there in our mind कि हमें save पहले करना है, invest buy या invest का तब प्रयोग करना है. So we need to understand the difference of financial freedom and financial stress.
Only 3% of India's population actively invests it.
Hi everyone, we are here to celebrate International Women's Day 2025, embracing this year's theme Accelerate Action, which urges us to take swift and decisive steps towards gender equality. At the current base, full parity may take up till 2158, 5 generations from now. But together, we can fast-track progress by empowering women financially. Master Trust presents Empowered to Invest Women, Wealth and Wisdom, a roundtable discussion dedicated to accelerating women's financial developments. By actively participating in investing, trading, and wealth creation, women can break barriers, close the gender gap, and drive beautiful changes. Let's step forward in solidarity, knowledge, and action to build a financially empowered and equitable future for all. So I'll start with a quick introduction with all the ladies at the panel. I'll start with my introduction. I am Akansha Shukla. I'm a product head with Masipas. I have a cumulative 10 years of experience and my savings is 30%.
Hi everyone, I'm Suprita Bhattacharya. I have a total of about 15 years of experience into the field of human resources. I've been associated with Master Trust as their chief of staff. And when it comes to savings, I try and believe to follow the 50-30-20 rule. The 50% of my earnings, I put it in my need and 30% into my wantings and desires. And I tend to save 20% of my earnings. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rishita. I am a young lawyer. I've just entered the profession and go back, and I've joined a law firm, so I have a legal background with a law firm. So, initially, I have been trying and saving like 5-10%, and then I've increased after a year to 20%.
I am Mo, and it's been like 7 years into working and 3 years with Master Trust as a content strategist. I'm very fond of literature and reading books. And with savings, I also feel I invest like 20% of my earnings into savings.
Hi everyone, I'm Upasana. My professional experience is about 15 years into financial industry itself. So I tend to save at least 40% of my mint.
Hi everyone, my name is Unnasi and I have just started and got into an industry. I recently graduated last year, and since I live with my parents, and that's why I invest like for 30 to 40% of my income, whatever I earned, in like savings and investment.
That's brilliant for somebody who is so young and starting on with career. That's really nice.
With that, interesting to know that we all save. But what about the essential financial jargons? Are we insurance covered? Are we emergency funds covered?
So yes, of course. I mean, I think this is the need of the hour. Everybody is aware nowadays, and we can't predict future, and we have to be prepared. COVID gave us a big time lesson. So yes, if I speak for myself and my family, we are covered for health. We have term insurance coverage, me and my spouse. Now we have a kid, so he's 3 years old, so I have to plan and secure emergency funds. There's schooling, and there are so many, needs that would come our way. So, of course, I try and plan a bit of my savings that goes into my insurances, be it health, term, life cover, and few into accidental covers. We don't know what future holds for us. And then an emergency fund. I mean, there can be times when we are in need of money which will help us survive. These are essential basics, roti, kapda, maka, as we say. So I think everybody should plan that way, and yes, we do.
Yeah. I think I got a wake-up call with all these things covered because I think I just have my health insurance and some of the emergency fund covered. But yes, I have to look for the term insurance and all that. Exactly, times have changed, and now the basic necessity includes insurance, because insurance, the good healthcare is something that is really required. And any visit to a doctor, for any ailment, involves a whole, yes, it is the older the bucket, very we say. So that is why insurance is the must. So when we talk about savings, or when we talk about emergency funds, or when we talk about how to manage our investments and money, the first and the foremost expense is the medical expense, because everything else can date the medical expense to something like Ganali.
Yes. And the medical expense, you have to have an emergency fund at this post, because your insurance, you might get it very late. You might have to get it out of their pockets, which will take you very, very long. So you have to at first have some liquidated cash, which you can burn out at that point, and then eventually maybe claim it from the insurance, which could take very, very long. And I have experienced it myself when it came to my family, that we had to have spend a lot of amount initially to use our emergency fund in first place, and then we can eventually rely on the cover that we get.
But here I would like to add here, having insurance from a proper agency or probably company like us, we can make you here and guide you, because we not only provide various products to our clients, but then we assist them onto every step. So if you buy insurance from a proper reputed company, like we provide insurance and other various products, then we are there not only while selling you insurance, we will be there with you at the time of Yeah, and in fact, your emergency fund should be a 6 months salary. So that is a liquidity that you should at all point of times be.
And that is super, super important, because I also to add a personal incident. I had my wedding last year, and just before my wedding, I had to go through a surgery, and my health insurance said me was at that point of time where you're spending so much money, even an amount, smallest amount also, it takes a lot of things. So yes.
Yeah, even at my young age, my sister has been my go-to person for investment and advice. So she has got me covered for a health insurance as well. And even from a really young age, my father has been constantly telling me what is the importance of saving. So he used to give me pocket money, so I had that I have to spend from that only, and saving a certain amount with me. So I have been conditioned from young age, so that has helped to actually know the importance of.
That's interesting, and I'm very happy that this set is very well versed about insurance at times when actually insurance is a very underpenetrated sector.
I would like to add, first to what Vunanti says, I would want to add one aspect, that investment or from the insurance, anything which is related to saving is not age specific. So this is something that we should share with everyone, that investing at the right age is very important. Probably saving.
Plus your premium is also less, yeah.
So with that, I'd actually like to know what investment means to all of you personally.
So I think, this is something in my early childhood my father taught me. So he has been very disciplined. He was into Air Force. So he said investments or savings is like planting a seed, right? So you're burying your cash, patiently watering, waiting for the right time. And there will be storms, but choosing the right seed type will give you fruits later. Back in 2010, he asked me to start with FD, right? Because traditional people, they have certain fixed kind of FDs are everywhere. And then when I joined this organization, it provided me a platform wherein I could, speak to people who expertise in this domain. So we came up with SIP. I remember I started with a SIP of 500 per month. And I utilized that when I was getting married for some makeup things and all. So I didn't have to worry about that. It doesn't pinch your pocket. It has a compounding effect, and that's really good. And the journey started of investment from there.
Again, as because like he said, FD is part of it. So we should again have that application as of FD also in mutual funds already. This is the right time you should be investing in the market. I am being scared of the market to, gain the advantage of averaging. So, as she rightly said, expert opinion is a rare solution.
Me, investing is simply compounding with discipline. You can compound money, but you'll have to put your brain to it, and I believe it's more of a financial hygiene that you develop over time, and you just don't let your money come and you go.
So, Upasna, आपका financial journey कैसे start हुआ? तो what made you get into this bucket of?
मुझे finance is something that has been over me from I think 11, 12. While I was 11 or 12. So whatever money we used to receive, जो भी हमें मिलता था, it all used to go to the piggy bank, and once 5,000 rupees इकट्ठे हो जाते थे, so the minimum investment in mutual fund at that point of time was 5,000 rupees. You could just invest. So मेरा fixed था, मम्मा के नाम पे अकाउंट था, मेरा मैंने 5,000 rupees को दे used to NABA mutual fund. So by the time I turned 18 and I had my own account, me and my brother had a lot of savings. The entire pocket money and everything used to go into that. So which was again with the like बहुत broken and I go fine marriage at this size. So it was like, it was an added figure.
You forget because these are some very, petty savings, right? We forget about them. And then when you read the fruits, it's like, wow, that's a good tea. Like very,
I started 12, 13. So this is something that really interests me. And then again, I've been from the very first day, my very first salary, I had purchased shares of Reliance and Tapi. And every month I had a habit that, one big share, I would pick it up and add it to my portfolio. So these they came very high. But doing it since then, and I have been my entire education also has been into finance. So, it's complicated like that.
No, Fardat.
Mine would be a very different and a simpler answer, because since I have started working in Master Trust, one thought has one line statement is always stuck in you. It was make your money work free. And earlier I only used to save. There was nothing such as investments for me. But once I started investing, so it is basically, I think I'm at that point of age where for me, buy a very expensive bag or a piece of jewelry. So I feel, okay, let me do an SIP and I just try using this money for something I want and it's expensive and I can't just put all my money at one go.
So yes, Rishita, anything for you? How have you been? As many of us also enter into this field of finance and management when salaries become at a level where you are taxed. So taxation also becomes one very interesting point where we will start to get into finances. कि भाई अब तो जाना पड़ेगा, अब when a tax tactics.
So that does happen as well. That happened because I was not really into this field or with numbers or around numbers a lot. So initially, so I had taken an education loan. So my entire planning changed when I decided to first allocate some percentage to get that off my head in through a very different approach. As to first I had to get that off and then move to investing more. So I've kept a percentage lower than what I could otherwise. So that has changed the entire strategy. Then eventually I realized that it's not like you can put all your money in there, but rather you should invest, and the compounding that you will see there, then you can allocate that. So that is something that I've learned a little later than I could have done if I was surrounded by people who could have given me a different advice and that thing. So like I said, we have to pick and choose, change strategies. That comes when we are surrounded or you are interacting with different people or different backgrounds, and to get to know that there are things that you can change and try and see if it works well for you. So that was my approach.
I think there's a different strategy for a different person or the net. So what works for you may not work for me, and that is very interesting to figure out by a little trial what exactly works for. So moving on to a little serious question here. I would like to know, what do you think how the investment landscape has changed over this period of generations, that particularly with
women have become more literate, which is very true. And with financial literacy, the choices have become many. Women can now go out and make their own investments. They need not take any commission about DC, right? And then, as I said, we have the choice of we have the choice of trying it. What suits us, what does not suit us. Earlier, women were completely dependent on the family members for many aspects. Although women at that point of time were also very smart, because they were only the real people who were actually managing the entire house. So the men would only come and give the money from the monthly salary or monthly expense to the women, onto which they were independently running the entire houseboy.
So I think that's the liability also. The onus lies a lot, that it's about the bread owner and the one who is managing our households. We talk about our grandmothers or mothers even. Not many of our mothers were working. But then they have that experience and potential of running the entire household with X number of children, saving for the children, right? So their education. And then the families used to be more of a joint family. So the expenses were plenty. But everything was taken care by. But if you talk about they stepping out and taking a financial decision of buying a plot or a house or a car, that opportunity I think was never really given. Or that thought process was not there in the structure of society that we live in, that okay, we need to check her opinion. Because at the end of the day, she might know better that what are the rates going on in the market. Because she has been managing that. So I think that opportunity, that equality was not that much. But I think over the time, the landscape has changed. 80s was an era when women were, coming out. They were joining forces. They were, working, earning. With earning, I think the confidence helped them take that financial freedom. So we need to understand the difference of financial freedom and financial stress. Nowadays, we talk much about financial literacy and financial freedom. What about the financial stress? How do we cater to that? So I think that kind of awareness is nowadays happening, and yes, we help each other. That's how we are learning. We ask our mothers now to go and sign up in SIB. Why do you want to go for RD or FD? Mama, it's a better return. I've done that for my mother.
Yeah, so talking about our mothers, I think the mindset of keeping money, women, I think are keepers, and they try to hoard more, they try to keep more, and you'll see a lot of women who are not working also. They have money, but they'll keep it at the case. So they're not just keep
Lockers.
Kids paid up. Monetization happy. Yeah.
Yes.
The money came. I think maid members will start what? We had that with cash line.
So I think they have a tendency to hold the cash, if you're getting a certain amount of rakno, and the saving aspect has always been there in our mind. कि हमें save पहले करना है, invest buy या invest का तब प्रयोग करना है.
For the generations like our Nani Talis ने अगर वो तब्बे में पैसे इकट्ठे किए तो our moms have I think inculcated the habit of saving it in a bank या FD करना है तो FD बड़े लोगों की बहुत पहली होती है. Absolutely. But then with us we got the knowledge of investing in the stock market, be it mutual funds, किसी भी way में. So now we have this habit. So over the generation it has evolved. The mindset has come in because knowledge increased. So probably that's what we are going to pass on to our future generations. Ki sit karo, it's mandate.
At the over time, it has also changed our people to perceive as share market. It was a very very negative term. Being it a woman or a man, everyone used to perceive it unnecessarily. You are into that, or you are from a financial background. It was like कि उसमें पैसे लगाना मतलब बहुत risky है, नहीं जाएगा तो क्या? Like a gambling. Yeah. That's more or less a gambling, and then you'll have to sit and convince कि नहीं हमें पता है. And the moment you there are some laws, so the market is dumb. You'll be asked to not go that tag, and you'll be asked to exactly.
Yes.
So they don't understand that. Although it's like an up and down, but कि long term and short term which stocks do you put? But no, that's the thing that primarily because you are feeling for people like us, we have to go out, seek advice, understand over time, and not maybe primarily involved and monitor everything, but understand from a perspective that what you are telling me, to know the reasons behind that. Now that has come over the years, that has changed. Technology has also played.
Yeah. Very.
Because we have everything on our mobile. Exactly. So we don't have to go anywhere or ask anywhere. You can just pick up our phone. We have all the advices starting that. We have all the tools from which we can make investment through our phones. So no need for anyone to help us guide us.
So I say your rishta now to Arabika. You can get how quick it is.
Can you believe we are discussing that through generations now? They are starting to invest more, but only 3% of India's population actively invests in
So now that leaves me with the thought, how much percentage of that 3% are women?
Oh, I tell you that, yeah. Like 1 out of 5 people who are invested. So that percentage has to really increase. Actually, also, if we're saying over the generations, like this passed on and passed on, I think we are going back also. It's like a circle that we are also teaching our moms, we are our dads. That's true. We have to go invest. So it is like that, empowering each other and going up. So since we're talking about how the shift has happened over generations, has your family ever sat down and discussed finances for you? Like an open discussion, open oral discussion you have?
In my case, my family has, like, I come up from a business background. My father had a business. My mother used to work with a business inside. So from very young age, money was always discussed on the table. So I knew what are money, what is finances, and everything. So over time, like, our dinner table conversations evolved. Earlier, it used to be like, I got the pocket money, now I have to save. I've saved this much money with me. Then over time, we started discussing when I got a little bit knowledge about investment, mutual funds. So that we used to discuss during the time. And then, during COVID time, my father passed away. So from that, now my sister, my mother, we discuss it, like what is the situation of the market and how it is dipping, or like these type of conversation has always been like, it is not very money is not a taboo in our heads. It is very, we are comfortable talking about it.
I think I've been also very privileged, and I come from a family where my father, mother, brother and me, we used to sit and discuss money matters. Whether it's about, spending for a new car or buying a new house, even after me getting married, there's still, if it is something even if we are buying a laptop, it is going to be a family discussion.
Yeah.
We all, chip in our bit of thought and process. And I think that has been a privilege that I'm married to also a family where things are very transparent when it comes to money, finances. Like I told my mother-in-law, okay, Mama, you have share. मेरी company तो करती है, इधर shift करा लो. So she has her DMAT here. Then, things like that. So we have been very transparent. And then my husband and me, I think that's what we want to pass on to my aunt also, my kid. Because we want him to understand, okay, mom, dad are doing this. This is going to be my journey. You have this much fun. And how we manage our household and stuff. So earlier it used to be the liability lies on the shoulder of the men.
Yeah.
I would say that's not how things are.
No.
In my case, at the moment, we equally are invested in having a family, managing the expense, going on a trip, international, national, whatever it is, and then take things forward from there. Thing was not the same with my family. My mother wasn't funny, right? But then having a say in the household meant a lot. So that kind of respect is what we women have been getting. Is from the places that I come. And I think that's very independent thought, and that gives us more confidence, girls more confidence, and people around.
So I think that's the same for me. Like, it's a business family, a joint business start. So a joint family was a lot of opinions coming from everywhere and every area. So from the very beginning, one more good thing about her family was that boys and girls always kept fair. So every decision everyone had that is from where I learned the power of investing and the art of playing, how you multiply, how you use it. And we also started investing very early. This was the reason why I got into this. So this helped me a lot. And in our family also, women have an equal say. So that is very important. Women do not have an equal say because their opinion also matters. Women have a lot of social groups. If they're not, even if my mom being a homemaker, and me also, apart from being a professional, I am a homemaker too. So how to manage finances, the social groups that we have, it is not only the social groups. It's a very, I should say, a very powerful chapter wherein everything is discussed. So the mothers were very smart. They have been very smart from day one in writing the finances, whether it was about their children's education or their marriage. They were always in yes.
And the panic was less, the financial stress that we, undergo these days, that was, I think, less. They used to take things very openly.
I believe you were not exposed to initial years. You as a kid or as a teenager also, you were
a bit protected from
Yes.
whenever things could come. But now you are the thing changed at you very financial transparency even with your kids from very fairly early age. Yes, earlier as my brother, we weren't really involved. I didn't realize when you're in school, so you won't realize that financial aspect of things makes so much of a difference because you go to school wearing similar uniforms every day. So that doesn't make a difference, but eventually you tend to realize, and these are the things to which your life revolves around.
Right.
And when you at that age, your parents also realize now you're responsible. A girl child or a guy, whoever it is, it's just that they also realize that now you have some things to put across because you are exposed to social media. And if you're using it a little bit well, you get to know that. And it's good to be in that score before you see any dip or any backlash that you're facing. It's better to be involved from the very beginning, especially as a woman. You don't want to know when things are falling apart. You don't want to get involved at that phase of time. You need to be involved under the era. So whatever happens is not a concern, but you need to be in that so that you know how we could have done it better or how my say in that would have made things better. So that point has evolved over years and we made a lot of help.
That's why I think upbringing also really matters.
Yes.
From me, even me from a business, we're told that not to waste money.
Yeah.
Necessary. And how money is earned in turn, money has to be taken care. Similar principles we are giving our children as well. Right? If you go out, one thing at it, but you're getting downstairs, you're not taking the other one.
Right.
So discipline for us, at the time of investment, and discipline for the entire family. Similarly for everything, for any household expense or anything, discipline is also very important.
And I think transparency, as we were discussing, that is also the key, It shouldn't be the father is taking everything on, or the bread earner is taking everything on his shoulder, right? He has to be open about this is what you've got, and this is how you manage your needs, and then savings. That's for everybody's future, right? So that kind of transparency earlier was not there in a lot of families that I've seen in my neighborhood or in our gatherings. So yes, everything was on their shoulders. Okay, children had no idea about what is going on behind the back. So when it was, my wedding planning going on, so we were very open. My family was very open that this is how we are planning, So we fitted things accordingly. This is the budget. We try and move the budget. And that's how I think they done that monthly.
If I add what it was like, I said that this is how we spend it. Wedding is a very big rip. What she said that when you go to school, you wear the same mom. We don't,
Understand.
Once you get a pocket money and you go to college and then you're out, I think after the school, it's like after the open, you discover you're traveling on your own. There's nobody to drop you. But yeah, grow up. And then you have different clothes to wear. So you have to stand that L to mummy papa leke nahi the. That nahi pata chalta tha, but then when you have to go buy and now so fast fashion is like everywhere.
And day-to-day experiences add a lot. The way you spoke about the college days, is a very interesting story I'd like to share. So I used to get per day allowance, right? And at that time, back in 2005-06, we all used to travel by bus. But my allowance was little high. So what I used to do is I used to take auto rickshaw. So one day my friend said, "तू ऑटो क्यों लेती है? बस में आ, बस में तेरे पैसे बच जाएंगे." So from there I said, ठीक है, I can try that. I mean, that's not something a big deal. बस में जाते ही हैं. And I learned it कि जो मुझे 70 rupees एक साइड का ऑटो लग रहा था, मेरा 10 रुपए में काम चल गया. And I was so happy that, I saved 60 rupees from the allowance, which I didn't tell my dad. He used to give me whatever else he was giving. But I was secretly saving that for birthday. But yeah, you learn this from, that friend was a source who helped me that I can curtail my expenses.
Exactly. Like it's conversational.
Yeah.
Like I am sitting you down and telling you.
करो.
Yeah, it is
Right. Rush तो नहीं होता तुम्हारे stock से
The influence of trends is also
right.
So money managing, I think you earn in that.
Yes, we earn it, learn it through the entire process when you get money right from your girls, right? हमें कंजके मिली थी. मिलती है, and we used to compile that, keep it, then spend it accordingly. This is a very fond childhood memory.
So, as we were discussing in the early saying that हमारी पुरानी generation से जो best हो सकता था उसने कर our mother, our grandmothers and others. But I would like to know that until last generation, this financial exposure was restricted. अब तो नहीं है.
Now, for the avenues for knowledge are equal for men and women. Why do you think still men pursue that knowledge, but that percentage of women who are not pursuing it is much higher? Why do you think that is to societies?
I believe, like, from a very young age, a certain conditioning is done towards boys that they need. It's not like they need to earn money, but they need to manage the money. That is conditioned to them from very young age. On the contrary, woman or girl child is not that asked to do so or conditioned that way. And then over years, one more point is that the male has the responsibility, whereas the females do not feel liable to do so. They're like, it is happening. It is also not based on the gender also, but it is like, for my taking my example, my sister does my investment and all, so I don't feel the urge to do it because like my sister is doing it. So that is how it happens, and maybe that is the barrier, I guess, because earlier also like my father used to do it,
Right.
but once he passed away, now my mother and my sister has to do it. There isn't any option. So I guess that is
Back to this with him. Yes, they have a part. If I know about my parents, so responsibility is equal on me and my brother. So whatever it is, whether it has to be taking care of them or any expenses, it is equal. And this is how we have pursued from the very beginning. And today I have a daughter. So from day one, it is being encouraged like you have to take care of us. Yeah. So it is very clear that, the parents, children, either men, but whether boys or girls, they have to take responsibility. Then we as women, we have stepped out and we are managing everything. And, men have also evolved. So nowadays, men are not restricted to outside things. They help us equally, add with their things. So when things have evolved so much, so have the expenses. And I think most of us sitting here manage expenses for their parents and their siblings in a proper way, the admirable way. So with women getting empowered, with financial literacy coming up, with me stepping out, we have completely changed this that, women is subject to managing the house, or only the men will manage the finances, or women only once the women gets married, then they are, subject to influence.
No, I think we are breaking the monotony here, and I think everybody is now fortunate in terms of getting the platform at least. Earlier there was no platform. Now everybody has the platform, but थोड़ा मेहनत खुद को भी करना है. Be it women or men. Opportunity है तो उसका फायदा उठाना पड़ेगा. You have to come out of your shelf. I'm not talking about somebody having a PhD in finance and somebody not literate. It has got nothing to do with thinking about your future and taking a step towards it. It's about how you want to push yourself going forward. And yes, when we say we need equality, we don't mean that we need equality in some sort of reservation out there, right? It has to be, okay, expenses X hai, it has to be both. House is just not for, the women to manage. It's equally men, right?
I also feel that like what question she asked was कि वो mindset क्यों नहीं है. I feel वो बहुत ज़्यादा society जैसे अगर आप बॉलीवुड मूवी भी देखोगे, रोटी कपड़ा मकान कौन लाता है? फादर लाता है. तो वो हमेशा एक mindset has always been there like that. So probably if women had money also, they thought that we'll just save it, we'll just keep it. And देखो mindset अब आया जब knowledge आई कि हाँ we can also be financially.
That's what we are talking about. कि कोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी खुद को भी.
Like to share, I was reading somewhere, but just an example. Akshay Kumar and so Mingal, I just read an email. I sponsor the education for both my children. तो वो मैं उनको बोल सकती हूँ कि जब तुम आज बने हो ना, जो पढ़ाई लिखाई करिए सब मेरे बगीचे. So this is an idea of mindset nowadays women have. That's not only that only the men are making the major expenses.
Right. Yeah, women are equally invested.
And her mindset of also, I am adding on to this of checking his accounts and how much money he has to see what future they can build together. It was also a kind of
very important question. Women ask men at the time of, a marriage interview or and then two people are deciding to get married, that how financially secure you are, what are your...
Yeah, these questions are still considered taboo, I tell you.
Yeah.
People are not very open telling their pay slips or salary figures to the person that you're going to get married to. Why?
So ultimately, that power has also come to put across your it is you are now in the position to question. You will not. So there are obviously two ways to look at it. That one is the financial, the earning and management, and other is the house protection. If you are not contributing to one, you cannot question or challenge or tell them that you are not doing this right. Because ultimately you will have to work on yourself first to question how you are doing things. So you need to have that knowledge. So if you are putting across something, putting across your point, you will have to have your knowledge at first place. So for that, now that you have resources, you can do that. Earlier, you were not privileged enough. But even if today you are using those and just questioning someone, so that confidence will come or have come over the time, because now we are exposed to, or we are having that privilege of taking advantage of that knowledge that is coming to us. Otherwise, it will not the case earlier.
I think the mindset has to change. Yes, I think the mindset has to change and somebody has to be a trendsetter. I think all the credible women are trying their best and we need to push them, help them, take it forward.
If you look at the list of richest people, you will see a lot.
Yeah, you're right. That's right. So that's that's a good example.
It is true. So we talked about investments, that you want that investment, you're secure, you are a choice. I would like to now address that elephant in the room when it comes to stock market investing or investing in general risk. So I would like to know, what is the psychology about safety of money? How will you make sure, how do you decide that I'm going to be investing in this or not? Bases your stock, it bases your risk. Again, risk, if I talk about it, it's a subjective matter. So if it is completely choice driven, it is completely need driven, it is completely tenure. What is the kind of tenure that you're doing for an investment in the belonging to? And what is your nature and how much risk you can digest? That is very important. That is completely dependent on person to person. But if I talk about the major or the bottom line is age first. My advice to people would be, you fall into the age of, let's say, 20 to 30 years of age span, then your risk applied should be higher. Gradually from 30 to 40 it becomes into middle. Maybe after 50 or after 45 years of age, when you want to plan your retirement, is easy pick up and the idea. Then is the time we should shift from risk to debt. But at the young age, it is the right time to make investment and have a higher risk appetite.
And I think diversification is also a key. We shouldn't be sticking to one instrument that can really affect your long-term goal that you have, like whatever goal you plan. And accordingly, I think seeking expert advice for the people who are not really aware of what's relevant and what's irrelevant is that difference has to be taken care of. So that's how you can plan. And yes, risk could definitely be something different for each one of us. So accordingly, we need to plan whatever our goal is, whether in early retirement, you go for whatever instruments you want to go, your children's education, you want to buy a house. So yes, that's how one should plan and diversify their portfolio.
I believe for a person who can invest their time primarily in observing the trends, keeping a tab of what is happening in the market, or are in the atmosphere where they are exposed to that information around them. They have people to have a solid discussion where people know things and you're not like hitting and just trying, because this is not I believe it's not a hit and where is it. And when you are in a setup where you are working for many hours in a day, and you cannot primarily be involved but can foresee. So I believe the safest option would be to go through someone who is an expert in that. Yeah. And not just and because I believe now that people want to get early retired. People want to take big shots. I have observed very closely my young cousins who go to college. Every other kid wants to become a trader. Because they'll see financial advisor, whatever, we'll get rich and we'll take all the retirement and do what When my advice is start small, increase gradually, and remain consistent. And compound to be discipline. Compounding is ultimately you come to what investment means to you. Secret ingredient. Because even I don't want to like retire early, but I don't want to take the risk of just doing anything and everything and trying. In it and doesn't mean that I'll go out and try it. So I cannot put since I have long working hours, and at least a lawyer doesn't have that bandwidth. If you're only practicing in the court or going to a law firm, you have very long working hours. On the weekends, how much would you explore? You can just have basic knowledge, a little more than that if you're very interested in that. Otherwise, the safest and the most good way to go about it, as per my understanding, is through some expert. And you can take multiple advice. I go to multiple people to realize who is the best person, but you need to have that.
So adding on to the point of risk that we were discussing, currently in 2025, we are seeing markets correcting 12% from their highs. And I think this is the time when people start being so risk averse. They decide that I am ready with my money and I am moving out because उनकी हिम्मत नहीं हो रही इस time पे market का bloodbath. But I think this is the time when we enter the market with some lump sums, we average it out in order to make sure that we get that benefit of a falling market. And then of course, when the market will rise from here, we can always move forward and see the average. Like I also agree. Moving on, I would like to know that who do you exactly look up to, go and speak to, with the case you would like to have some financial advice? Who is that one-stop solution pick?
See, I think the platform that the company that I'm working for, as on date, that provides a lot of, product in their under one umbrella. And then we have different product heads. Akanksha, I've reached out to you also, right? So, I don't shy away asking anybody who is a subject matter expert, be it my director sometimes, be it you. So I don't shy away that way. Then, we have so many platforms nowadays, internet being one. They help you, okay, fine, Akanksha has given me 3 lists. Okay, I'm getting the comparison for the last 5 years, how the fund has performed. Then, things like that. And of course, then now you have your brothers who are also equally invested in markets and they also know schemes. They reach out to their fund managers. A healthy discussion like we are having one today. Okay. I think that's how we get informed about what's going on, how we can diversify. But the key is, I think, one has to be vocal about what your desires are, what you actually want.
Yes.
And ask questions. So humans are blessed that they have logical reasoning power, right?
Yes.
So use करना चाहिए उसको. पूछे.
Even I agree. You have to be clear on what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you know what you want and how much you will say, and then I am blessed to be in this industry only.
Yes.
So I use whatever I have learned over the years. I listen to a lot of people, experts. I read a lot, and this is how you deal. Again, I told you we should always start small.
Yes.
This is how you learn.
Yes.
Because you're your best judge, I should say.
Yeah.
So this is how it should be.
Krishna, since you are outside this financial industry, who do you look up to in order to have these kind of discussions?
So I would say I am a very social person. So I have different friends. So whenever I have to have this conversation, I have picked and I know so I try to hang out with them so that I know at the end of the day we'll ultimately teach through that conversation because I know that's their interest area. That's my brother. He's younger to me. So if I'm 25, so he's 23. However, he is more into saving. He lives with my parents. He has a completely work from home setup. So he has a lot of money to invest and save. So he's very active at that. So when I visit home, I always end up having that discussion. So ultimately, that is how it has evolved to me. And I have learned over time that they also, the essence of the advice that I have got from them is that you need to have someone to go to who is a financial advisor. All my answers are surrounded by that. Okay? I really don't have one at this point. But ultimately, the thing is when you have to invest big or you have to increase your investment, and again, was pick a safe choice to make, then you need to have some or the other trustworthy platform that it have to go.
I agree, and actually I think the need of a financial advisor is there, and it's very important is because probably when we're talking to a group of friends, everybody will have a different point of view. Yes. It is very important that a financial advisor actually understands, scrutinizes what exactly is the background, and then assists you with your goal. So having a financial advisor is somewhere the dire need in order to have
regular financial independence. So there's the way, the way we go to a dinner party to get a dress, we're willing for, which fits us well. A tailored approach. So similarly, a financial advisor can help us because he or she will understand your needs and will define a portfolio in accordance to that, which your friends might not be able to assist you because the decisions or probably the suggestions that they are giving to you will be about in accordance to their needs. So having a financial advisor is as important as having
your family dog. You need to have a financial planner, of course. That's the concept to put in. You just have to put in, find one. Yeah, I think we can help.
So, as I could understand, we have a very financially sound forum today. But I would like to know, how are we helping others? Are we trying to make an impact that if we are aware about the things, so we should make others aware too?
I think we started right within our family and our workspace. So when I learned about SIP, I asked my mother, Mama, why don't you save your savings? You'll get some extra money interest there. Then the freshers who are joining my team, I also advise them, SIP karo or nahi karo. I encourage them, of course I do.
Yeah.
So there are people in my team, मैम मुझे टैक्स बचाना है, कई बार मैं बोलती हूँ बासना मैम से बात कर लो अगर इंश्योरेंस कुछ कराना है. I've asked Akanksha and the teams are there. Whatever I know, NPS karo, we should start NPS at an early stage because it's a private organization, right? So we need to have our retirement thing also focused. So a number of instruments are available these days to manage your taxation also, and I think knowledge only grows when you impart and share with others. So whatever I know in my capacity, I spread it across, and I try my bit in helping others who are not aware of instruments available.
Same. They've been educating everybody with phone. We have met starting from my age, push to get cash, so they open an account, start putting it there because at that low a background wherein the husbands are not supporting and they're also the females are the only earning and so he's also somebody the background or not that good. There also I have literally educated them to open an account for their savings so that for future they have some liquid cash for to cater to emergency especially. So this is how it is. And we also as financial advisors, apart from being into this industry, we are also a homemaker, a mother. We also have families. So for people coming to us from different backgrounds, we can understand their needs and we can design a plan in accordance to that.
So I also think that yes, now women have progressed, they are progressing and it's always a journey, and so have men. And if they have if we say men invest more than women, so men in today's world also tend to empower us. From my say, I feel that I have also learned a lot from my husband because he was a lot into investing and I was not a risk taker at all. I wanted my money to be secured in my bank account and I don't want to spend a penny here and there. But now since I have started investing and I have seen that, yes, the compounding of management of compounding, I tend to empower my friends too, even my colleagues too. And yesterday when I was sitting with a colleague of mine, I asked her that, have you started pursuing? She said, no, I still haven't. I said, no, now it's the right time to invest. So I think empowering others, you get knowledge from them too, what's their mindset, and then you learn more in the process.
I think overall, I feel that your financial stability is not only that you have money in your bank. It's about how that money is working in your favor.
Yes.
And that is why savings is other investment important. And I think that is why women should keep reading, keep asking questions, because it's only once you ask questions, you'll be able to sort all that questions that are in your mind. You will be able to come out of your societal pressure. Very well said, panel, and thank you for pouring in your ideas, because with this we get to know that we need to start small, we need to empower each other, and we need to start building that portfolio for which we'll have financial independence today and the
Happy Women's Day!
Do let us know what was your key takeaway from today's session in the comments below.